I keep having moments where I'm met with resistance. People are treating and acting like FOMO's not that big of a deal, kind of thing. Like it's just a hashtag on the internet, kind of thing. But what has been shown to me that is the reason why I'm putting so much energy into this is because I realize you really can't have Christ consciousness. You can't have unity consciousness and be functioning from a place where FOMO, it hooks you. And it's not always a social hook, but it seems to often have social implications. And I say seems because the mind does recognize it as like, oh, this is the reason why I can't, or I have to, or I don't want to do this, or etc., etc. You can have FOMO about a lover, um, sexual FOMO, career FOMO, conversational FOMO. And it's a very simple discernment between choosing because you want something and just choosing something because you don't want something to happen. It's like I've seen it with a young a young person, like a child, a little boy in particular, on a playground type of scenario, and it's the form of, in this particular instance, it's like selfishness, where someone will choose something just so someone else doesn't have it. Like a little boy's playing on a sandbox, and then someone else joins, and he's making his sandcastle, and he's been working on his sandcastle for, let's say, 5-10 minutes, and he's invested, a great deal of like focus into making his sandcastle exactly as it is, and he has all these different tools to assist him with this. And then this other young creature comes and says, "Hey, can I play?" and wants to use the shovel. And the little boy all of a sudden finds a reason to use the shovel way more than he was using it. And it's like, no, I'm using it. And is in poverty consciousness around that and fear of sharing with others. And that's because of other reasons. But ultimately, he all of a sudden chooses that shovel just because he doesn't want to not be able to have it. I found myself impacted by that, and I can think of one other adult human being navigating life impacted by that in the past 2 weeks, in my personal awareness at least, where it's just difficult to choose your soul's evolution sometimes when you've been programmed to think in lack and think that, what if I choose alternatively away from this source of love or support or sexuality, sex, or friendship, or nutrition, or philosophy? What if I choose away from this thing that has been giving me security and a sense of identity? This is what this reality. I've been staring at it for years, and the main word that has like seemingly confused me and many other people, and those who seek the one in truth all zoom in on this, and they know they need to see it as well. But the term ego has a lot of people in like a daze, it seems like, because there's so many different usages of the term, not a consistent agreement on what it really points at and means. The term that has come to me to assist in describing what the term ego means is identity, time-based identity structure. Time-based identity structure because it's a structure of identity. It's not one thing. It's a time-based identity structure because it's really just an accumulation of moments and events and experiences from time, from the experience of linear time perceived by the mind. And it creates this false identification with events and experiences, and how our individual experience was coded and filtered through our trauma and our social, cultural, religious, geographical lensing. So it's the epitome of bias. It is what bias is. It is where opinion comes from. It's the difference in seeing what is in truth and seeing what is in truth skewed towards your perception and lens and how your lens sees it. So understanding this time-based identity structure that is ego, there's nobody's getting enlightened that doesn't understand it. No one's having self-realization that doesn't understand it. That's the part of it. Was just seeing this video on Instagram that was talking about also this like new age spirituality bullshit where people are like avoiding conflict and avoiding the more difficult, the less socially accepted emotions like anger, and it's so in there. It's so in there, woven in amongst the tapestry of what we have determined as is difficult, that prevents us from having true understanding, not being heady, not like philosophizing, like seeing clearly, seeing pristinely as the one infinite true source of the experience that's happening. And everyone's journey is different with that. There are many rivers, but there is one source of water. To become the fountainhead is to realize that you are the source of water and the tributary delineation through which the water flows to get to elsewhere. To get the water elsewhere is to be an alchemist. And I haven't seen it otherwise. Its source is God is asking you to take your light and life and do something with it. And if you're not using it to the highest ability, the fullest ability, the full capacity, full expression, there's this lingering sense that you're not doing something that you could be doing. It's this lingering sense that something is missing. That's why I'm doing this Missing Out on Nothing online course and online program, and inviting everybody who feels like they want to participate, because I'm becoming the change that I wanted to see, and becoming the hero, becoming the legend that I was looking for on the map that I couldn't find because I was looking for someone to help me be the version of myself that would resolve all my issues. Others might point you back to yourself in helpful ways, but that's just a mirror. The mirror won't do the push-ups for you. Namaste.